All right, good morning, algebra students. This is lesson 3-8, like my Santa hat. I know, it's pretty awesome. Lesson 3-8, solving literal equations. More solving equations. Shocking in the equation solving unit. So literal equations are simply just equations with many variables. They're just equations with many variables, which are basically the same exact thing as formulas. That's really what you're more familiar with them as. You can see in example 1 right there, I've got the volume formula for a prism. Volume equals length times width times height. That's a formula. Some other formulas that you might, excuse me, have floating around in your head. Some science ones. Density is equal to mass divided by volume. Area is equal to length times width or base times height. Some other formulas, Pythagorean theorem, which you may or may not know, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. There's a formula, I know, the equation of a line, that y equals mx plus b. The area formula of a triangle instead, right? There's not just one area formula, there's a couple area formulas depending on the shape that you look at. So when we talk about solving literal equations, it's simply just equations that have multiple variables. There's more than just a singular x. There's maybe x's and y's, there's maybe a's, w's, and l's. It's all sorts of different things. So when you're solving these literal equations, it's the same process. This is a very weird color to match with here. Let's go blue. Same process, just less math. And I put math in quotations like that because there's less like real like calculations with the numbers. Just less math because, and that's because there are less like terms. Not to say that there's no like terms, but there's just going to be less like terms in a regular equation where all you're dealing with are x pieces and numbers. So just to remind you, you're still using those inverse operations. Still using inverse operations to isolate. The difference here is a specified or specific variable. Since there's going to be many variables involved, you're going to have to read the problem carefully to determine which variable it is that they're asking you to solve for. All right, so that's about the gist of solving literal equations. So let's look at example 1 in the next video.